Hey, Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, double honors to the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, peace and salutation to the elect, and all the brothers pushing this work in sincerity and truth. This is brother Tamai from GMS Toronto coming at you with another video. What you see here is this world. This is a Disney programming, right? When I say Disney programming, is a woman think that she owns a man and she's a princess, and pretty much a childlike state of mind was placed on all these women actually, right? When you watch all those Disney movies, it's pretty much a princess and her so-called knight in shining armor, right? So when you see these girls operate in this pretty much plane right now, everyone is stuck on that whole monogamy force field, right? All these women, they all talk about what they would do to a woman, right? I've seen an influencer saying, she'll love her man or whatever, and she'll protect him from, any girl that pretty much gets close, she'll beat them up, right? Women are dangerous creatures, man, right? I gotta say this. Women are dangerous creatures when it comes to other women. It used to be men are dangerous around other men. Listen, women should stay away from each other. All right? Because I'm telling you right now, if they had the physical power that men had, this would be the case of every woman and of every man. Men would be extinct if women had physical power that men has. Right? Due to the fact that the whole jealousy, that jealousy spirit is on these women. Let me read this. Let me read this. Let me read this caption right here. Finally embracing the scars my best friend gave me because I mistakenly slept with her boyfriend. I want justice. Right. So she carved her friend's face up, carved her lips up. Right. You can see all the scars on her face. Now she's ruined. Right. She's ruined for life. Unless she gets, Esau's plastic surgery or whatever the case may be. But still, she's traumatized, right? And due to the fact that that whole jealousy factor is in these women, and we're living in the West. She looked like she's from Africa or something. That whole mentality of the West is pretty much in the whole world right now. The word cheating is now a factor in our vocabulary now. This is what these women all talk about: a man cheating on them, which that never used to be a part of our vocabulary, right? This is a Edomite talking point, right? When you're on TikTok, that's all these used up women talk about. Women in their 40s still talk about men cheating on them, right? They should know that other younger women are being produced every day, right? And men, a man is always going to want to step out and have other women, whether they do it or whether they act on it. But that's just part of men's nature, right? And these women are out here pretty much trying to put an end to your nature for the most part. You're supposed to only have them and them only. You're supposed to look at them and them only. The scripture doesn't say that. When you get back to our scriptures, monogamy is very, very much celebrated in our scriptures, right? When you look at all the holy men, the majority of them had multiple wives, right? Unless you're a prophet, that's the only way, or you're a Levite. That was pretty much that was your daily service. Serve the Lord, right? When you're occupied with the Lord daily, you know, an office like a prophet, an office like a Levite, multiple women, that becomes a problem for you, right? When you go into the New Testament, also talks about the bishop having one wives, but the other men, like your soldiers, your rich men, your businessmen, the men that keep the economy going, these men require multiple wives because they have resources, right? And I'm pretty much rambling on, but monogamy is going to be a thing of the past in our kingdom, man. Right? So you women got to get with it now. Let me bring out Isaiah 4 just to show you women, right? What you're doing right now, that whole jealousy spirit, that's going to be a thing of the past, right? It says here, Isaiah 4:1, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach, right? So you're not going to care in that day. Those days are slowly approaching, right? You're not going to give a damn if a man has multiple women, right? You're not going to care because guess what? You're going to want to live, right? You're going to know the meaning of family in that day, right? Most of you are just wired on, selfishness. Like I mentioned, the Disney programming in the beginning of this video. That's what these women are pretty much. Their mind is pretty much. That's the mindset of Esau's Disney programming. Monogamy, right? There's a video that just got posted of a man getting caught at a Coldplay concert. These Edomites. It's coming home to roost, man. You set up this whole one woman, one man garbage, and now you can't even have multiple wives, knowing that you want multiple wives and multiple women. That's why you have to run and fucking hide. No, everyone has to run and hide, right? If you had come out and set it up in that way, where a man can have multiple women and multiple wives, then it would have been a little different. But now, since you put the monogamy out there, now these women think that they have power now, right? This is the power of the woman at the end of the day, right? And Esau is always going to be a piece of shit because now you're seeing him, he's sleeping with married women. So, he's the one that wants to do these things, but at the same time, he's doing it the wrong way, right? A man can have another woman if a woman is single, all right? If a woman's single, he can have multiple. If a woman's single, he can marry that woman, even if he has a wife, right? Let's see what the scripture says. And if he chooses another wife, sorry. This is Exodus, and this is for the Israelites. Okay, this is not for you fucking heathens, right? You're gonna have multiple wives too in the kingdom, but this is our right. And you so-called black women are nothing but, I don't know why you're acting like this, because in the past, your grandmothers, your mothers, your great-great-grandmothers, they knew your grandfather had multiple wives, and they didn't have a problem with it, right? But now, fast forward in modern times, you women think that the man belongs to you, right? And also another thing that I'm noticing is you women think that marriage is that stupid ass paper and going down and buying a ring and all that foolishness, man. That's the reason why you women go around and having sex with multiple men, because you don't understand that sex is marriage, right? And you always talk, when two becomes one. Two becomes one doesn't start at a fucking you walking down to a pastor and in a church, man. Two becomes one is when that man and that woman come together, having intercourse, right? Anyways, it says here, Exodus 21:10, and if you take him another wife, hear that? Her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. So, scripturally, a man is allowed to have multiple wives, right? You're seeing videos in South America where women are cutting off other women's hair because they slept with their so-called boyfriend, which is a husband, right? You see women beating up other women due to the fact that she slept with her boyfriend, right? You see it in Brazil, you see it in Honduras, you see it in Africa sometimes too, right? But this is going to be a thing of the past. You women are going to acknowledge the fact that a man can have multiple wives. And you know, when we rule, there's not going to be a damn thing you can say about it. All right? Let me read it again. Exodus 21:10. If you take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. Right? So he has to take care of her. You know? It doesn't say here a man is supposed to have one wife and one wife only. That's not what the scripture says. Right? Even Adam has had multiple wives. Right? Everyone in the scripture that the Lord was dealing with had multiple wives. Right? I mean, the jealousy of a woman is always going to be there. You know, the scriptures, you can't sleep with her cousin, you can't sleep with her sister, you can't sleep with her mom, you know, stuff like that. But if it's someone from your nation, a stranger, right? Someone that you're not related to, then it's all fair game as long as that woman is single, man. You know? And another thing that I see going around on these social media, mainly so-called black women, right? Always talking about, oh, she slept with a married man. I'm not talking to no married man. But these are the same women that'll come to you having multiple bodies, right? But they can't accept a man having one wife, right? They want to make a big deal about that, but they come to you, you know, all you know, drenched out, prune-like, right? And they're telling you about monogamy. This is the irony of this world that we're living in, man. You know, it's backward, man. Up is down, and down is up. This never used to be a thing. Women understood that men had other women, and men could have other women and multiple wives, right? But living under this Edomite depression, this Edomite nightmare, this is what we're boiled down to, right? Used up women talking about a man can only have one woman, right? They come to you with no virginity. These are women with multiple children, by the way, right? Ex-wives and all that foolishness. They'll come and tell you that you can't sleep with another woman, or you're married. Why are you talking to me? Go home to your wife and all that fuckery. That's the reason why a lot of them are single. They're not gonna have a man in that day, man. So the day of the woman is done. The scripture says, "Tremble, you women that are at ease." Right? Because you're at ease right now, so you get away with a lot of things, and you know there are no consequences. I doubt that anything's gonna happen to that woman that carved up that other woman's face. Isaiah 32:9. Rise up, you women that are at ease. Hear my voice, you careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, you women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and guard sackcloth upon your loins. Right? All these independent women garbage that you've been taught, it's gonna go away. The Disney programming that you've been taught is gonna go away, right? And the new kingdom is gonna pop up after much tribulation, man. Right? The Israelite man is gonna be back in power, and the same prowess that you see, the sexual prowess that you see that we're showing right now, right? Needing multiple wives, needing children, right? This is gonna be a thing of our world. You know, men are not going to have to hide and run, get multiple phones, hiding their phones and all that stuff in our kingdom. Okay, not going to be any phones. We're going to have higher technology than a goddamn phone, but there's not going to be any running and hiding and lying to you women about, oh, do you want multiple women? The answer is yes. You know, that's part of a man's nature. He can't help it, right? Do a hunter stop hunting because he got food? Because he caught a deer yesterday? No, he's going to rest for a little bit, and he's going to get hungry again and go get more deer, more venison, more turkey, whatever he wants. It's all about variety. Shalom.